My name is Alison Behling. I'm from Morgantown, West Virginia, and I studied environmental policy at the School of Public Environmental Affairs and West European Studies here.
My name is Trueblood. I'm from Salem, Indiana, and I'm studying West European Studies.
I was really interested in the combination of both environmental policy issues, being able to study that side of my interests, as well as being able to tailor my previous experience and interest in West Europe in general to the environmental side.
West European Studies was a good option because it allowed me to be flexible with what I wanted to study and kind of learn everything I wanted to learn, in that I can study both the culture and the politics of Western Europe in general. And then once I got into it, I was able to focus more on my actual interest, which turned into be international higher education and France education.
I think there's a lot going on in Bloomington, both on campus and beyond, that draws on several different influences from the university itself. For example, the strong music program and a number of music offerings that are available to students at decent prices, art and other cultural events, an international flair and flavor to the town, all of which I've really enjoyed.
I'm always impressed with the amount of the international community that's here in Bloomington and the different resources that you can take part of. And the community is interesting as well. There's activities in the community, so you don't feel like you're just a student surrounded by students. There's actually other humans living in the community that you can interact with. And as Alison said, the music and art is incredible. The art museum at IU has always been a source of relaxation and inspiration for me. And yeah, I think it's a wonderful little community. Some highlights, I guess, would be the wealth of language diversity that are available at IU. So I got the chance to study Dutch, which is pretty unusual. It's also exciting to be in West European Studies because although I was interested in the education and the universities of Western Europe, I get to work closely with students and colleagues and my peers like Alison, who's studying energy policy. So just knowing her, I get to learn a little bit about that, and someone else who's interested in West European economics, I get to learn a little bit about that. So I think that's a positive part of being in West European Studies, because you get to learn a lot of different things that are, and our tie is that we're all interested in Western Europe. So I think that kind of brings it together and makes it interesting.
I also really appreciated being able to develop close connections to certain professors in the West-related courses that I took, whose interests match mine or whose professional development or experiences I felt that I could definitely learn from and benefit from. Well, I had a foreign language area studies fellowship in German my first year. It was hard for me to find courses that specifically fit into both my language level and my schedule at that time, so I was able to set up, in addition to a graduate level course I took, an individual independent study with a professor during the course of the semester, and we were really able to go farther into my interests in what was being covered in the class and really focus on German language use within those interests. But the faculty member was very open and very helpful in setting that up, and really challenged me intellectually in the context of that course.
Yeah, I think that's a benefit to being part of a smaller program, is that when you work with faculty, they recognize where you're at and what kind of program you're in, and the choices that you have. So when you're in a small program, you get to meet a lot of people, and you get to know a lot of people in turn, and I think that's really helpful. And the faculty have always been very encouraging and friendly. And it's something that you work from through the whole time you're here, so that when you're writing papers, at the end of each class, you can think about the topic that you want to write about and kind of keep a general theme.
And also just realizing that there's students around that have done it before, there are faculty around that have worked with West students who have gone through the whole process before, so that you have a lot of personal resources to draw from throughout, even at the very beginning, just asking, how did you find a topic, how did you narrow down a topic, and then going through the actual research stage, formulating a process, and all the logistics involved. But there are plenty of people that you can ask, and plenty of people that are very generous with providing that information and helping you out. In the long term, I'd like to find a job where I could work on international environmental policy issues, specifically renewable energy or climate change issues in European countries and the dialogue between Europe and the U.S.
I'm interested in international higher education, so I hope that in the near future and in the long-term future I'm working in that field.
There's been both a broad overview of several different aspects of what West European studies means, what entails West Europe, so you can kind of be a generalist in any future policy or any future employment that you might seek, be it on general aspects of West European history or culture, politics, or a number of different languages, but then also through the research that you do in the courses and through the research in the culminating thesis project, you really do, A, become a specialist in one field that means a lot to you, and B, really get to hone your research skills as a student and then as a potential, as a future employee. So I think, yeah, that those are all very important aspects of what I've gained as being a West student.
Just like Alison said, once you go through a master's degree program in any topic or any subject, you have gone through a lot of work academically, a lot of rigorous coursework and research, and so of course that makes you a more focused, determined person, and I think that is an interesting factor to take into your future.
I would say, one, take personal connections with both the other students in the program and with the faculty seriously from the start, and really work on all the opportunities that are available to meet those people, to get to know those people. As Tia had said, finding out other students' interests and getting to know, why they're turned on by energy policy or by education or by the economics of Western Europe, and being able to draw on their interests and expertise, as well as the interests and expertise of the faculty.
Also, I think just in general it's important to challenge yourself and to take classes that may be a little bit out of your realm, because you might find that you're very interested in them, and it really opens up a lot of new ideas. So exploring Portuguese culture or the comic strips of France, those are really interesting topics that you're going to learn something from, and although it is, like we mentioned before, difficult sometimes and rigorous, and a lot of determination and research is going to be involved, it's important to try not to take yourself too seriously and have a little bit of fun, because what you're learning is actually very interesting and exciting, and it should be a little bit of fun.
I like that.
Yeah.